I ain't. I ain't. You gonna say, so, nope, I ain't doing it. I ain't. See, that's that pride cord. It's now removing the threefold cord. So check this out. Understand and see this. It's all about the covenant. Do y'all see it? The covenant. The covenant is the two becoming. So it's all about the covenant. The attack is against the covenant. It becomes a covenant killer. And so this is the thing about it. Most people don't realize or won't accept. I'm gonna say it like this. They won't accept the fact that the covenant killer comes in many forms. Uh-oh. You going in there, Delphine? You gonna go in there? You gonna go in there? Okay. All right, you going? It comes in many forms. The covenant killer is not always something. It is an internal thing, but it's not always. It's an internal thing, but it has to get activated by an external thing. Amen. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Amen. See, it's in you, amen, but it needs to be activated by something externally. Like, say for instance, if when we use marriage, because marriage is the greatest covenant that there is. It's a covenant. It's a bad thing. I can remember getting started here at this ministry, and I remember people, I don't know how the word spread or whatever, people were saying that, she was going to be busting up marriages and all this kind of stuff. It wasn't joke to come up with that foolishness. I'm like a number one advocate for marriage, Most everything I talk about is based somewhat on that, because that is the greatest covenant. That was actually one of the first. It was among the first. It wasn't the first. The first covenant was what Adam, when God cut with, he created his angels. And then he created man. And so all of these was covenants that he was establishing. But what that covenant comes in to be so great with marriage is in the fact that it was man that he gave dominion over this earth. It was man that he told to be fruitful and to multiply and replenish. See, it was man. So that covenant is a powerful covenant. And I have a high regard and a respect for that covenant. And so this is the thing about it. It's an external thing. So what happens is now the internal, the two people inside the covenant with the threefold cord. If you do not protect that threefold cord, you gotta guard that threefold cord with all diligence, baby. You got to protect it. I'm telling you, you gotta protect it, because it can come in many different forms and try to cause you to go against that thing. It'll always come in a subtle attack. One of the number one ways it comes is it will come in the whispering in the ear. That's where it will come. It will come with conversation, will get down in the ear, and it will cause there to be a removal away from that covenant place. Now Eve had a covenant with Adam, but the serpent got in the ear. So an external thing began to mess with an internal. So that is why Jesus said, when Satan comes, he finds none of him where. See, if you done gutted the building, you ain't gonna find nothing in there. But if you ain't gutted the building, conversation gonna come to deal with that what's in that building. That's what it's come through the ear gate. Conversation through the ear gates. It's where it's going to get in there. And it's going to eat away at the threefold cord. Little bit by little bit. So I became aware of something some years ago, and I live by this. I don't always look at big things, y'all. I watch small things. Small things will tear up something quicker than a bigger thing. It will. Because that small thing will nag. It'll keep nagging. Whereas if you see that it's a major thing, you'll go ahead and take care of that. Because that's just too big. That's too much to that. But that little small thing, like for instance, we will just overlook certain small things. Like we'll know for a fact that let's use the toilet for instance, because I did this. We'll know that the little thing in the toilet needs to be changed, right? Because the flap ain't going down, so it'll make the toilet run. And so I just keep playing around with it and wasn't going to get it changed until I seen my water bill. I called, hey, listen, Buck, can you come out here and change this thing? See, you see this little nagging thing, see? Little nagging, so but that's what you have to watch. You have to watch them small foxes, because the small foxes are the one that destroy the vine. See, they'll nip a little bit here and you be, don't worry about that, you know. Don't worry about that. I done got so detailed to the point that I look at stuff, and if I realize it's 2 or 3 cents off, I say something to the people. I say, you pour that for you. That's $3 cents. 3 cents. You might think it ain't nothing, but it's 3 cents. And so, because I realize that that's a small fox. Yeah. Amen. So I look at the minor details. Because minor details become major details if you don't deal with them. Minor details will tear up some stuff. And before you know it, by the time it done got to the point where it's done pretty much ate up everything, by the time it's a major blow up, there is nothing that anybody can do to come help you reconcile it. Because you done let the small foxes eat up everything. So what the threefold cord bought, which was love, which was understanding, which was patience, which was peace, which was unity, which was commune. You communicate with each other. You don't mess around and let the small fox took all of that. So then there is a big old blow up, a big old mess. And so let's say the preacher steps on the scene to want to help, and I ain't got nothing to work with. Let's go. It just ain't no help, Pastor Lee. There ain't nothing. Yeah, folks may people can even throw it out there to you, make a suggestion to you. Well, why don't you go talk to Pastor Lee? Ain't no need. Ain't no need to talk with Pastor Lee. I'm done. See, because you don't let the small foxes eat up all your stuff. It's the little bitty things that you should deal with. If it's aggravating you, if it's nagging you, talk about it. Amen. Say something about it. Don't do that. Please. Don't put that over there. Lord have mercy, that bothers me. Jesus. Please. I got to order to myself. Put myself a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. And when I look up, I want to see that right now. I don't want that to be moved. I'm finna get mad. Because I got to find it now. You understand? Let me tell y'all something. When you serve, when you are married, you are serving. And when you are armor bearing or what have you, you are serving. And it is for you to find out exactly how that thing is supposed to flow. You're supposed to be able to finish that sentence. You're supposed to know to put that right there. Don't want that right down. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're supposed to know this. Because you are the part that completes the package. So you're supposed to know. So if you don't know those things, let's talk about it. You don't know those things. What that means? Ooh, woo. Let's talk about that. I wasn't even going none of these places. But let's talk about the fact if you don't know. How you don't not know? You either ain't connected. That's right. You ain't studied. You ain't connected. You ain't studied. You just outright in rebellion. You just outright in rebellion. I'm going now. Slow your roll, prophet. You ain't connected. You don't care, or you rebellion. You don't know. You can't name a position and not know how to play the position. Covenant killer. You can't name it. If you name a position and you don't know that position, why are you there? I want y'all to think about it. If you take on a position and you don't know the position, why are you there? So if you in the position, but you won't submit to the position, what does that mean? What does that mean? You in the position, but you won't submit to the position. Huh? Everybody, look up. Look at me. If you in the position, but you won't submit to the position, what does that mean? You're a wife, but you won't submit to what the position of a wife is. You're a husband, but you won't submit to the position of what a husband is. You're a servant, but you won't submit to the position of what it is. Tell me what that means. What does that mean? I told y'all, covenant killer, sick of it. It's a covenant killer. It will literally murder a relationship. You could have a good one, but it will literally murder the relationship. It could be a relationship that God himself ordained, because God ordained marriages, right or wrong. Right. But if you mess around and let a covenant killer get in the midst, let me take y'all back somewhere. When he created Lucifer, was he making a mistake? Huh? No. I tell you how you know he wasn't. The Bible said the joker was beautiful. Say he was beautiful. So how could you be beautiful and I made a mistake? How could I see you walk down the aisle and think you are the most beautiful person that there is in my eyes, and then turn around later and say, I made a mistake? How can you as the groom stand there and tears come down her eye and walking towards you and think you are the most handsomest thing in the building, then turn around and say later, I made a mistake? Covenant killers will do that. Do y'all hear me? Covenant killers will do that. Covenant killers. You have to work at a covenant. It's not an easy job. And I'll tell you why. Pride wants to extract everything that 3/4 cord done put in. Pride want to take it out. Your enemy is pride. Pride comes in different forms.